What is EFT? EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. Emotional Freedom Technique was created by Gary Craig. He's a Stanford engineer, and he was someone who was fascinated with both psychology as well as Chinese medicine. And as he had educated himself about the meridian systems based upon Chinese medicine, he realized that our body has an extensive network of meridians, which are basically just like energy points in the body. These are energy points where energy becomes focused in a certain manner, and they are linked to other parts of the body. So what he discovered was that if you start to tap on certain meridian points, you can actually release stuck energy that's in the body. And when I say stuck energy, what does that mean? So basically, it's energy that is connected to emotional experiences from our childhood. So when we have emotional experiences that are very, very upsetting to us, what can happen is you have all of the emotions that are triggered. You have something that happens with a family member, and you get triggered to fear, anxiety, worry, stress, maybe a little bit of anger. All of those emotions get triggered, and because of certain experiences around that, you're not able to fully allow those emotions to reach a place of completion. So they get shut down. So the emotions are shut down, but there's still kind of like a negative charge to it, right? Because the energy hasn't dissipated, it hasn't been felt. And this happens thousands upon thousands upon thousands of times in your lifetime, and you don't realize it. So what Gary Craig's system created for people was a way for them to kind of event by event go through your life and start releasing these trapped emotions, these trapped emotional experiences that are kind of stuck in unfinished, unprocessed emotions in the body. It helps you to release them. So what he was able to do is by doing the process of tapping while stating certain mantras, you can release those emotional experiences from the body. I have been an EFT practitioner for over 12 years, and I have to tell you, it is a profoundly powerful tool to help people to not only release these negative emotional experiences, but to also use it as an opportunity to create new beliefs around what that experience taught you. And let me give you an example. So in my healing process, I discovered 114 different beliefs that had been created from 4 negative experiences in my childhood. And I'll give you one example so you know exactly what I mean. So one day I came home and my father had bought me a pair of red shoes. And it was very odd for my father to, go shopping or buy gifts, because that was usually something always that my mother did. So what happened is when my father was giving me the present, that triggered my mother's issues around money, spending money, things like that. And she got very upset, and they ended up in a fight with each other right in front of me when my father was giving me these red shoes. Now, I was 5 years old at the time, and what my 5-year-old self interpreted from that experience was, well, the shoes cost money, and those shoes represent my dad's love. Like, he's giving me this gift, and that's an expression of his love, right? So if my mom is yelling at my dad for buying me these red shoes that cost money and I shouldn't be having them, then my 5-year-old self deduced that I'm not worthy of love or money. And so I created that belief system at 5 years old that got anchored into my nervous system, into my physical body from that experience, as I saw my 5-year-old self saw my parents fighting over money and fighting over my father's choice to give me a gift, without permission from my mom. And so it was a pivotal event for me, and it anchored in that belief that, I lived with for years. I had no clue though, right? That's the challenge with these issues, is that these beliefs are at the subconscious level, and you have them and you don't know it. So what happens is in your conscious mind, you're like, I really want to make, 6 figures this year. I really want to make 7 figures this year, whatever it is for you, right? So your conscious mind is saying, this is what I want to create in my life. I'm going to take the steps to make that happen. But at the subconscious level, you have a belief that you are not worthy of receiving money. And so what happens is you self-sabotage. You start doing things where there's procrastination and you don't get it done. This is the biggest block for people, is not knowing what those invisible walls are, not realizing that they have blocks at the subconscious level from experiences in their childhood that cause a contradiction for them, where they're like, I want to make more money, but they self-sabotage all the time because they don't actually think they're worthy of receiving the money. So what happens when you do this process, emotional freedom technique, and it's widely used. Jack Canfield uses this in his teachings and his coaching programs to help people to release the negative charge that's in the body, the negative experience that's kind of locked into the body, and then release it. And then when you're doing a tapping mantra, you will program in the new belief that you want to counter it with, that now is going to be the proper belief system, that I'm worthy of all the best that life has to offer. I'm worthy of being abundantly wealthy, and whatever wealthy means for you. So let me just give you an example, and I'll walk you through the EFT tapping so you can see what it's like. Okay, so we'll start with like the karate chop point, right? And you'll start tapping away and you'll say, even though I had this negative experience in my childhood, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I never really believed that I was worthy of being wealthy, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though it's hard for me to imagine that I could ever be financially stable or financially wealthy, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Deeply and completely love and accept myself. I release this old belief. I am absolutely worthy of love and abundance. I am absolutely worthy of love and abundance. So when you are tapping on those meridian points and you're talking about that experience, you're talking about that belief system, that helps to release it from the body, right? So we're tapping here, and you want to tap with like 2 or 3 fingers because you want to hit as much space as you can. You do it aside of the eyes, under the nose, chin, collarbone, under the armpit, and the crown chakra, which is basically just the top of the head. And you want to do it back here, right? So it's the round spot of your head. You want to do kind of tap all around there, just get it all stimulated. And I have been using this system for over 12 years. I've worked with clients of every shape and, every kind of industry. And this process works. It works because you are releasing the anchor point. The anchor point is the emotional negative experience you had as a child that taught you that belief that I'm not worthy of money. I'm not responsible enough to be responsible with money. I'm not smart enough to be worthy of being wealthy. I'm too young, or whatever it is for you, whatever those beliefs are, they're anchored into your body and into your nervous system. And this process will help you to release it so that you can remove those invisible walls and you can start going after your dreams. You can start, achieving the level of financial stability, financial wealth, abundance that you desire and deserve for yourself and for your family. So I hope you found value in that, and happy tapping. Bye.